Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. Chapter 3. Dawn of the third day. After the utter insanity that was Day 2, we finally got our respite. Although, from the looks of it, another Scarlet was less lucky. And also a cat somehow opened our door, which was at least closed and probably locked. Which is a bit odd. Then again, well, we know that there's something else in that house, don't we? We've known since, what? The second episode? Yes. But enough dilly-dallying. Proceed if you dare. Ha. Blah, blah, blah. Check, see a recap? I don't think we need to see a recap. No. If you need a recap, go rewatch the videos. I'm not gonna give you one here and lose out on all those potential views and watch hours. Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as your eyes flit open. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. Indeed. A narrow run thing, but yes, we did. As you pull yourself out of the bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw mines still stuck to your skin. Take a shower or start your day without showering? This feels like one of those decisions that, well, I don't know. I feel like this is a choice that is going to have hidden consequences of some kind. But what would... Oh, wait a second. Isn't the bathroom in this place, like, utterly wretched? Yeah, I think I'm good, thanks. You decide not to shower. I don't deserve to be clean. The fuck you talking about? You don't deserve to be... I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. Aren't you right now? I just prefer a natural musk. I'm a dirty goblin and I'm never showering again. There's no way I'll feel clean after going into that shower. There's nothing to psychoanalyze here. Stop it. Okay, sure. There's nothing to psychoanalyze here. Time to start your day. Let's check on Dustin. You doing alright? Oh! Hi. There are 2 of them now. This is getting out of hand. Morning, Dustin. Who's your friend?
Her name, Mom. She came to visit. Hi, Dustin, Mom. Gotta stay with Dustin until glass house empty. Thank you, human, for take care of my boy.
What happened to your glass house? Did someone throw stones?
Asshole squatter moved in. Kick Dustin Mom out. Squatter tried to eat Mom. Squatter evil.
Tried to eat you. Are you... Is that actually the case? Or are they misinterpreting something? And lots of animals will misinterpret a lot of things as you trying to eat them.
Squatter may be asshole, but the squatter not evil. It just tried to survive, just like all creature.
I guess. Some would claim that being evil is all well and good, but being a dick cannot be allowed.
Dustin still have much to learn.
I had a rough night. Can you console me?
Was it because of Cat Monster?
No. Although that was certainly a somewhat of a concern, albeit indirectly.
Dustin was scared too. If Cat Monster want to eat Dustin, Cat Monster will have to go through Dustin Mom first. Dustin Mom will kill. Then Dustin and Mom eat like kings. This nature.
I guess. For whatever that means. I've gotta go. Bye. I guess I feel better already.
K.
That's that. Or is it? You walk over to the window, fondly thinking about the pleasant view it provided you on Monday. It's the same view. Okay. Something's gonna change as soon as I click this, isn't it? Technically, I was right. You turn back to the guest room. Every time you see that doll, your heart skips a beat. It hasn't moved, right?
No, it hasn't.
That's enough of this closet. You turn back to the guest room. You pull out your phone and open up your group chat with Stella and Kanika. I get to meet Reese today! Send a photo of a pained old man. Ha! You send a photo of a pained old man. Ah yes, good old Hide the Pain Herald. It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. You pull out your phone to text Stella. Thinking about you. Send a photo of a creepy mascot in a grungy basement. Yes, sure. This is exactly what Stella needs to see after yesterday. First thing in the morning. I am a good friend. It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Send her a photo of an exhausted Ben Affleck. Okay. 3 for 3. Gonna have to be returning back here later to check the different options, I guess. Unless none of them actually matter at all, which is possible. Then again, I'm still gonna have to be returning here, just not as much. You've done everything you wanted to up here. It's time to start your day. Playing the field. Keeping your options open. What? What does that mean? I feel like it kind of defeats the point of an achievement if you have no idea what you've achieved. But sure, okay. You enter the kitchen to find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. Oh, hello. That is a very nice set of overalls. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best as she can. Is she red-headed? It's hard to tell. You have to imagine that the fresh face in the kitchen is Janie. Don't tell me what to do. Tabitha did mention she comes in on Wednesdays to clean. Are you book smart or are you basic recollection? Vile woman, destroying the natural order of my kitchen. Tabitha's eyes dart to the corner of the room, almost as if she's ashamed of being caught in the act of stress-eating ice cream for breakfast. Bonjour, Fufu. Ugh. Bonjour, sacre bleu. Do not think you can just bonjour me because I slept at the foot of your bed last night. I still despise you. 3 humans at once. This is abhorrent. Your stink will linger here for hours. How am I to bear it? I see. Talking to my cat again. Are you sure you didn't get hit on the head last night? You don't say good morning to your pets? I always make sure to talk to my farm cats and alpaca like they're people. To me, they kind of are. Nobody lives out in the garden, right? Gosh, I wouldn't know. Miss Tabitha won't let me touch the place. Nobody lives in the garden. Why are you even asking? I thought we bonded last night. Why are you being dodgy again? Am I being dodgy, or did you stumble downstairs the morning after a mine collapse throwing around wild accusations? Anyway, like I said, I don't know what's out there. You've seen what I have to do for a living. I can't keep stock of whatever creatures roam a garden I don't even have time to use. Tabitha, all I did was ask about the garden. Why are you so quick to jump to it being an accusation? Gosh, you two sound a little heated. Is everything alright? We're fine, Janie. Alrighty then. You'll just let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Why are you always so dodgy? Is there or isn't there something out there? Incredible to see you finally grow a spine. Though it's even more incredible to see you finally grow one over absolutely nothing. The opossums in my dresser told me someone's squatting in the greenhouse. Ugh. This place is infested. This place is infested those things. I think you mean with those things. Ah, be nice. I think they're cute. Anyways, nobody lives in the garden. Why are you even asking? Because the opossums told me. Out with it. I don't want any of this talking animals nonsense. I'm sticking with my dresser opossum story. I can talk to animals, you know? Sure you can. Hi, you must be Janie. Do I really need to be book smart to... whatever. Tabitha mentioned you'd be coming in today. That's right. I'm just here to do a little bit of cleaning. What cleaning Miss Tabitha will let me do, at least. I could have this place looking brand new, you know. Don't go making any big renovations or moving anything around. I like knowing where my stuff is. Okie dokie. It's nice to finally meet you, Joe Bob. I mean, I guess I did meet you on Monday when you popped into the diner. Janie. But seeing someone somewhere and meeting them face to face are 2 completely different things, I suppose. Indeed, they literally are. Remain silent. All I'm saying is that it's wonderful to finally actually meet you, and I'm so happy part of the family is here to keep Miss Tabitha company, but with everything that's... Janie. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Tabitha. Am I being too much again? Tabitha grumbles in acknowledgement. Oh, are we having ice cream for breakfast? I'll have no sass from you today. Good luck with that. There was a massive mine collapse last night that almost got my cousin killed. I know. I was there. So I'm under a lot of stress right now, in case you hadn't put that together. Oh yes, and I'm entirely stress-free. And there is no we here. This stuff is way too hard to get a hold of for me to share. Is that right? I wonder if there's any meaning to that beyond this just being the middle of nowhere. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container. turning to you with her trademark scowl. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible's wound up happening, so you're coming with me. That's not an entirely unfair assessment. How's your morning been so far? Aside from you trying to give me a heart attack about squatters in the garden? There was a massive mine collapse last night that almost got my cousin killed. So I'm a little stressed. Heya, cuz. How's it hanging? You're chipper for someone who was almost crushed under a mountain of rock last night. As if a mere mountain could crush me. Tabitha looks you up and down. She shrugs. Fair enough. Yay! Cousin bonding time! Where's this leading, though, I wonder? I'll be out there in a couple of minutes. Gotta wrap up my morning routine. I feel like shit from last night, and I still have to wrap up my morning routine. Are you seriously asking for time alone here after you just probed me about whether the garden has a squatter problem? What do you take me for, an idiot? I'm already behind on my day. I don't have time to deal with hijinks. Janie, lock up when you leave, please. No go rearranging anything. I'll know. Okay. So you're saying you would if I hadn't brought that up. Hang on. Yeah, that checks out. You definitely smell like it. Look, I get it, but there's a lot on my plate today, and I want to spend some time with you before more things start piling on. I already waited long enough for you to get up. Ah, you do care. But only so long as it's inconvenient to me. Isn't that what family is all about? But I haven't had breakfast! We'll find you something in town. Yay! Cousin bonding time! It'll be good to get to know each other a little better. Janie, lock up when you leave, please. And don't go rearranging anything. I'll know. As you ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Joe Bob, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. You two did right by those kids, though. What a blessing. Everything getting out of that situation alright. Honestly, the real blessing is that mine finally collapsing so that no more fucking idiots are gonna be tromping around in it. Last night was an unavoidable tragedy, but I'm afraid there's more to come. Oh dear, that sounds just dreadful. Have you considered stopping by the church at some point this week? My husband's the pastor, and he's been going absolutely stir-crazy since we moved here. But with nobody really attending sermons. It'd probably do him a lot of good to talk you through your worries. With everything that's been going on lately, having a priest on speed dial seems handy. Indeed. Having a pastor on speed dial is always handy. Debatable. And my Daniel is a wonderfully talented pastor. Honestly, I'm just glad to have anyone else on speed dial. Preferably someone sane, but I'll take what I can get right now. Also debatable. Enough dawdling. We're leaving. Ah, damn it. Get enough time to... Why even label them as explore if... The whole thing about the explore options is that they don't progress, so why label them as explore if they are going to progress? I'm so fucking sick of poorly labeled options in these sorts of dialogue-based games. Disco Elysium is even worse about this. At least in this game, I can actually fucking save mid-conversation and go back very easily. Unlike in Disco Elysium, because fuck you, that's why. The problem with save restrictions in any game is that they're essentially a signifier of extraordinary arrogance. They're basically saying, my game is perfectly designed, and you will never get screwed over by bullshit. Saves are, well, first of all, a way to save your progress for if you need to stop, but secondly, a safeguard against being caught out by bullshit and screwed over by the game just being poorly designed. Any restrictions on it is arrogance. Some games can more or less get away with it. There's gonna be bullshit in the best of games, but some games are well designed or simple enough that it's unlikely that you're going to be cursing the person who made it for restricting the saves in some way. This is not one of them. And Disco Elysium certainly isn't either. Although, to be fair, this game doesn't have restrictions on the saves, as far as I can tell, and Disco Elysium's restrictions are not really that impactful, just kind of annoying. To be honest, I think Disco Elysium's restrictions are actually just a programming thing. Like, it just would have added a lot of additional workload to get them working properly with with being able to save mid-conversation, so they just didn't bother. I can understand that. Anyway, enough about Disco Elysium. You only come in once a week, right? What do you do with the rest of your time? Oh, odd jobs mostly. Weeding gardens, cleaning houses, watching kids, that sort of thing. My husband's a pastor, so a lot of my time spent at the church and doing things for the community. Poor Daniel. He's been going absolutely stir-crazy since we moved here, but with nobody really attending sermons. It'd probably do him a lot of good to talk you through your worries. Oh, take your time, of course. You're here all week after all. Just know that you can stop by the church anytime. The door is always open. Do you know anything about a guy named Wayne? I'm going to stop the two of you right there. Joe Bob, I'm busy and not in the mood to stand around waiting while you play Nancy Drew with my cleaning lady right in front of me. Okay, then. I'd love to chat, but I'd hate to interrupt your work. I'm in town for another few days, though. If you've got time. Of course. Like I said, feel free to swing by the church any old time. Alright, let's go. Bye, Janie. Be safe out there, you two. You and Tabitha walk through the doors of the estate and enter her car. The ride to town is uneventful. Your cousin, unsurprisingly, more focused on the road than on making conversation. Alright, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. What are we doing at the general store? We're storing our generals, obviously. Picking up tea from Sybil. Oh, I gotcha. Picking up tea. Yeah, I'm picking up tea. Why are you saying it all weird? Yeah, you're picking up some of the good stuff. Wink at her. Did you think I was taking you with me to buy drugs? I'm picking up normal tea for drinking. Yeah, I pick up what you're putting down, Tabitha. To be fair, there's probably something sketchy to do with her tea. Wink. Sure you are. You wink at your cousin. Her face tightens into an all too familiar scowl. Hang on. It's okay, Tabitha. You can tell me if Sybil's your dealer. Oh, you can tell me. We're cousins. Jesus Christ, Joe Bob. I'm buying tea. I'm just pulling your leg. Don't ever try it again. After everything that's happened the past 2 days, it's nice to just go on an errand. Some people would say that this is tempting fate. And they're right. But fate is a bitch. An absolute pansy. I've tempted it 1,000 times. And it's seemed to strike back no more often than when I say nothing at all. So, you know what? To hell with fate. Exactly. I'm glad you agree, Tabitha. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Fine. Okay. Keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you never would have let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms off, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Ugh. Other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. Or at the very least, we'd be a lot happier from not having to hear it shouted in the streets. I mean, the gossip hounds wouldn't be, but fuck 'em. True strength is not being afraid to show when you're struggling. No, true strength is never struggling ever at any point in time. Yeah, true strength comes from being able to crush your emotions into a tiny ball. You cannot get stronger if you do not fight. I can't tell if that's agreeing, disagreeing, or just vaguely adjacent to what she was saying. Out of curiosity, would you call yourself happy? What are you burying? That's very Hemingway of you. It worked out great for all his characters, too. And for him. I'm surprised to see her let loose like that. I'm glad she's finally letting loose. Maybe her family will stop taking advantage of her. A lot of fun options. Let's see them all. True strength is not being afraid to show when you're struggling. The only people who think it's admirable to show a soft underbelly are those who have been lucky enough to not wind up with a dagger in their heart. One day that luck inevitably runs out, Joe Bob. Mayhap. We're bending daylight. Come on already. Yeah, true strength comes from being able to crush your emotions into a tiny ball. Exactly. Same dialogue there? You cannot get stronger if you do not fight. You're not wrong, but you also have to pick your battles. True enough. There's nothing to be gained by this sort of fight. Mayhap. Out of curiosity, would you call yourself happy? Tabitha pulls back, surprised by your question. The lessons we learn from loss are often more powerful than those we learn from victory. I'm unhappy because I took too long to learn life's difficult truths. Not a bad retort, Tabitha. I'm only getting like maybe 1 or 2 lines out of each of these, but very interesting ones. What are you burying? A lot of things. I'm burying Pearl Ann this coming Sunday, for instance. If I were to seriously answer your question, I wouldn't actually be burying those things anymore, would I? Oh, true, I guess. That's almost a paradox, isn't it? Good answer. That's very Hemingway of you. It worked out great for all his characters, too. And for him. How dare you compare me to him? The man wrote sentences like he was a child. Ooh. Bold opinions on literature, Tabby girl. I don't have time to read books anymore anyways. I read expense reports now. I'm surprised this year let loose like that. She seemed so measured. Exactly. The two of us might not get along, but it's because she's better than that. It's unbecoming. You see yourself in her, don't you? There aren't a lot of people to see yourself in when you live in a town like this, Joe Bob. I'm glad she's finally letting loose. Maybe her family will stop taking advantage of her. Right. Her family is taking advantage of her because she lets them, not because she's normally measured and composed. A display like this means nothing if she's still here next year, and yet again the year after that. True enough. Oftentimes, change can only occur from genuine, bold action, not just... well, if anything, it just tightens the ties that bind her here. Have I ever told you that you scare me? Ha! Her laugh is harsh, like a gull. You're not alone. I have that effect on people. It's a Scarlet thing. I'd be losing it if Miles were my brother. Neither of us have siblings, so neither of us can know that. I'd like to think I have the discipline and rigor to keep my feelings to myself. I think you're only saying that because you want to leave. That seems like a weird thing to say in response to that, but alright. I think you're only saying that because you want to leave. So why are you still here? Haven't we been over this already? I have responsibilities. If I'm not here, if I don't do my job, all of these lives are effectively over. Maybe that would be for the best. I just hope there weren't any customers in there. That's not my concern. She's showing weakness to her family right now. What would you do if you weren't here? It's best not to think about it. All of these options are good. Or most of them, at the very least. I think this is the most... I think this, followed by this, is the option with the most potential. I'm not quite certain. We're burning daylight. Come on already. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Is that right? Oh, what was her voice again? Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Joe Bob, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. I can't believe you tried to tell me you weren't here to buy drugs. I can't believe you actually tried to tell me you weren't here to buy drugs. Oh, she most certainly is. Didn't you know that there's no better place than Scarlet Hollow to stock up on the devil's lettuce than my little old tea shop? What? I am not some kind of stoner. Yeah, you prefer crack cocaine. Ugh, you know what? It doesn't matter. Think what you will. I'm just pulling your leg, dear. I wonder why it's called that, pulling your leg. Kind of an odd phrase. Simple motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tinkling of bells. If
find a good spot to listen in. You find a subtle spot near the door and listen in. I know it took a little longer than you'd hoped, but this was fairly short notice. In the future, please give me at least 2 months to gather what's needed. These plants aren't exactly easy to come by.
Is there enough?
Yes, everything should go just fine. Make sure this is all it eats for a few days, and I mean all. Indeed. Put it somewhere that it can't get other food. I'm not keeping it inside. Outside, then. A shed. Something enclosed. And please call me if you get confused. Don't assume you know what you're doing. You only have one shot at this, remember that. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, yo. Pearl Ann ran me through it plenty of times. I know what I'm... Your listening session is halted as the tinkling of bells announce another patron. Or 2. Or in this case, another 2 patrons. Hi, you look... You've got a disconcertingly young-looking face. Well, you've never seen the man beside Duke before, but whoever he is, he's big. Yes, thank you. I didn't notice that until you mentioned it. Powerful build. It ain't Joe Bob. Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin. He was there with Stella that night in the woods. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Hope you've been faring better since all that unpleasantness. How's Birdie doing? Oh, she's hanging in there. Too bad there's no vet in the town anymore. Not that I'm certain a vet could do her much good. We got her comfortable, at least. We got her set up in a closet with a heat lamp. Been trying to feed her all her favorite foods, scrambled eggs and whatnot, but she hasn't been too interested. Yeesh. At least she's not out in the woods. Things have gotten worse. I did hear whispers about what happened up in the mines last night. Scarlet Hollow ain't so safe this week, it would seem. Sure hope people aren't gonna start connecting this to my arrival and say like, oh, actually I'm the one causing all this. I mean, maybe I am, but I sure hope they don't connect that. How have you been? Hanging in there? Oh, I can't complain. Now that we know what's been getting at the chickens, them things won't so much as step foot on my property. Now with Bo and me watching the perimeter with our shotguns at the ready. We even set the missus up with her pistol. Good thing we was watching. Nearly caught Julius trying to make off with Big Betty. Julius? As if he could have carried off a nearly 2,000-pound pumpkin on his own. I'd love to see him try. They ain't kidding, by the way. There actually have been pumpkins well over 2,000 pounds. I think the world record is something like close to 2,800 or so. It's not like we'll be taking her to the state fair anyway. You know, all she's good for is making the world's largest pumpkin pie. I don't think Mama has a tin big enough for Big Betty-sized pie, Daddy. Who's Julius? Julius Tremaine. He practically spits the name. Some cousin however many times removed, though I don't claim him as kin. He owns the farm next to ours, except he doesn't seem to have a good grasp on whose property is whose. Thinks he owns half our land, always sneaking around and taking vegetables we planted. Of course, the way he tells it, we're the ones stealing from him, saying he's the one putting seeds in the ground. He's a miserable old cuss and he knows it too. Stealing vegetables born of other folks' hard labor is probably the only joy he has in life.
I read about your family's feud in the library. Did you now? Weird bit of local history for someone to decide to write down. It ain't even interesting. Evidently it was interesting to someone. Big Betty is a pumpkin? Sure is. Probably would have taken home at least a few ribbons at the state fair this year. Maybe even a world record if we were lucky. Yeah, it does sound like a real beaut, certainly. Ah, well. My hens are more important. We'll just have to grow an even bigger one next year, Daddy. The land's been good to us. We sure grown big out on the Callaway farm. Those things we saw on Monday are called ditchlings, and they're a bad omen. Those things we saw on Monday are apparently called ditchlings. They're supposed to be a bad omen. Ditchlings? Sounds like some old folktale. Suppose that suits them. As for being an omen, I believe that too. I suppose there's not much to be done if they're forewarning some kind of disaster, besides looking out for me and mine. Yeah. That's the trouble with omens. They don't really help. Like, oh, bad things to come. Okay, what kind of bad things? Bad ones. The bad kind, that's what. Like, great, thanks. Watch out for bad things. Yeah, I was already doing that. Fucking omens. Still, I appreciate you telling me, Joe Bob. Yeah, well, I appreciate you listening. Have you seen any of them around your farm? Yeah, we saw a few of those critters. They got scared off before I could start shooting. Nasty little buggers. We've all been losing sleep making sure we can keep an eye on things. It's even rubbing off on the hens. None of the little ladies have been laying this week. Eesh. Yeah, that's rough. I know very well what it's like to be losing a lot of sleep. Never fun. Especially in stressful times like these. Hopefully we can figure out something about those damn things. Maybe we can find their nest again. Retrace our steps. Using the recording or some such. And torch the place or something. Yeah. You know, Daddy, I bet some big mastiff could keep them things away. This seems like just the kind of job for a guard dog. Now don't you start again. We ain't getting a dog. Not sure it would do much good against these buggers. I mean, have you seen what they're doing to deers? Even a mountain lion. I got enough mouths to feed. And as much as you say you'll take responsibility, I know it'd be me cleaning up after it. Besides, I don't have much faith in the things would be stopped by a dog. I saw more than a few in that nest. Nice seeing you, Duke. It was a pleasure running into you, Joe Bob. We'd best get on with our shopping. Can't spend too long away from the farm. What with those little devils running around. Yeah. Good luck. Can't leave Mama all by herself up there for very long. You have a good one. Hope Scarlet Hollow treats you better from now on. I won't hold my breath. It was nice meeting you, Joe Bob. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. I hope that was just commiseration and not an actual apology. They shuffle off into the aisles. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Oh my god, hey, I overslept. So I gotta make myself breakfast. Meet at library after and figure out plan? And then it buzzes again. Stella sends you back an image of an exhausted alien. Nice. Hey again, lol. If you want to come over for breakfast, would honestly love to hang out. And then it buzzes yet again. Somebody was busy this morning. Sliding into the DMs, are we? If you want to hang out before the library thing, I'm parked in the abandoned lot by the gas station. It's hard to miss. And that's that. Can't possibly get any more texts. Right. This is Isaac's from the mine. You gave me your number yesterday. I'm out behind the diner if you want to talk. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. Okay then. Plenty of options then. As well as, of course, the whole going back to see what changes thing. But that's for another time. And until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.
You're gonna be okay, kid.